The other thing that we got to know is that when we don't honor our cycles, when we don't honor the divine feminine within us, when we don't give our bodies that chance to rest and to reboot as women, we are in fact creating the perfect scenario for us to get PCOS, for us to get endometriosis, for us to get uterine fibroids, for us to get uterine cysts, for us to get ovarian cancer, for us to get any kind of cancer of the womb, period.
Is this what you want now? Feels like you're looking for something better.
Peace and blessings, collective. It's your girl Hadida here. I'm coming today to basically talk about the red tint and the purpose of it and how it can help better your life and what things I think are important that we are still doing as women who are trying to be connected to the divine feminine of the universe and who are trying to learn how to embrace and love ourselves even through the craziness of society, through the shaming of our menstrual cycles, through the stuffing down of birth control to try to get rid of the menstrual cycle. I'm not talking about those women who are taking it for issues dealing with their womb. I'm talking about the woman who is encouraged to take birth control to get rid of her cycle or to suppress her cycle. I just want to sink our teeth into that. So, if you don't know already, the concept of the red tent is basically a safe space where women used to gather back in the day, long time ago in biblical times, as you would consider them back then, biblical times. Women used to gather, and they would gather in this space that was no men allowed. There was only women and there were only children, and specifically women or young girls who were transitioning from puberty into womanhood. Now, some might say, why is this so important? Because as women, there are so many profound secrets and so many divine things that happen to our bodies and that happen to our wombs throughout our whole entire life. And it's important that we have this sacred space that only women connect to, that only women can be around, that only women are able to hear those different things that are happening. We all need that. We all need that sacred space. We all need that safe space, where we don't have to feel like we have to look for peace of mind somewhere outside of ourselves. And so the red tent back then was an opportunity in a place where women went and the divine feminine was honored. The menstrual cycle was honored. The process of going from a woman with no children to a woman who was carrying children to a woman who was birthing her baby was also honored. The labor and delivery process was something that women gathered around, and we all were there to help assist this woman in bringing this divine life through her womb into this realm. That is such a profound movement, of the universe and of the human race. And it's something that has been so sterilized in the concept of the hospital and in the concept of, the OBGYN and this very intrusive concept of making a woman's body do what it has to do in a certain amount of time. And if it doesn't do that in an amount of time, then she's not normal. And because she's not fitting the normal parameters that were created for her and her body and her child at that time, now we got to rush and do C-sections. Now we got to rush and do this procedure over here. And it's making women, specifically women of color, die and be brutally traumatized during this cycle of giving birth. And so, not to get off on that tangent and that rant, as you can tell, it's something I'm extremely passionate about because I am a doula and I do a lot of work with the women who are in the African American community and who are looking for help in services and birthing their babies. But to get back onto the purpose of the red tent, it was in fact a place where women were able to birth their children without these rushed procedures and things that had to happen. And so I created this red tint, which is a spinoff of the concept of the red tint, as a way to reintroduce what was there in the past, what was there in those biblical times, reintroduce that into society today. There should never be a woman who feels alone in life. I don't care what your ethnicity is. I don't care what your age is. I don't care what your circumstance is. You, sis, should not feel like you are alone. Being woman is so profound. It's so divinely guided. It's so empowering that you should never have to feel like, as a woman, you don't have the support that you need. You don't have the encouragement you need. You don't have the resources that you need, because this red tint is here to help you. So I created this red tint, as I was saying, as a way to help women in their path and in their course of life really gain guidance. And in addition to that, to bring back the rites of passage ceremony, where a young girl is traveling from the space of being a little girl into the space of becoming a woman when she gets her menstrual cycle. We don't honor that enough. We don't make a big enough fanfare about it. We don't teach our young girls, what does it mean to be a woman? What does it mean to have your menstrual cycle? What's happening to you? I mean, quite frankly, the women who are in the red tent with me, 9 times out of 10, I hear majority of those women say, my mom didn't teach me anything about it. I know that women that were in the time frame and in the era of my mother didn't have the teachings of their mother to teach them what was happening to their wombs, what was happening to their bodies, coming into womanhood. It was kind of like everything was hush hush. Nothing could be talked about. Everything was secret. You went through your period as a secret. You went through your stages of womanhood as a secret. Sex was a secret. Giving birth was a secret. Everything was a secret. And because of that, we've gotten into this place where women were made to feel self-conscious and feel bad about the process that our body is going through, and the opportunity of giving birth and having a menstrual cycle and being powerful as women. All of that was made to be pushed down and to be dumped down inside of us. And we weren't allowed to be open. We weren't allowed to be free. We weren't allowed to be expressive of our womanhood. And I was like, oh no, we got to cut this. We got to cut this, because I'm tired of seeing those women hurt. I'm tired of women trying to figure out how to raise their children and how to trip and stumble through motherhood when we have all of these elders out here. We have all of these people who are out here willing to help, but they're scared to help and they're scared to comment, because let's be quite frank, we're living in a society where to say something as an elder, you can be shot, you can be killed, you can be beat up, you can be stabbed to death. People are doing the most crazy and irate things. And so I had to create a space where it was okay to stand in your divine power as an elder and give counsel and give help and to give assistance when it was needed and even ask for. It's not meant to be something that is intrusive on your personal life. It's meant to be an aid for you as a woman who is coming into this place of womanhood, so that you don't have to woman and adult and period by yourself. You know what I mean? You should have that support system through these different phases of life. Something else that I want to talk about is that as women in this patriarchal society that has been created, we aren't allowed to honor our cycles. We aren't allowed to be woman. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, stop crying, stop being emotional, stop thinking that you have the right to feel some type of way. Stand up, be strong, hunker that down, hustle, get this, get that. It's like, we aren't allowed to be women. And we are not to be feminine anymore. Everything is this hustle and bustle. We got to run after this. We got to achieve that. We got to do this. We got to grasp that. We got to raise these kids. We got to help our husbands and our mates. We got to nourish the community. When do we get a chance to just be? When do we get a chance to just stand in our divine feminine energy and just simply be? And in this society that is very patriarchal, we are not getting an opportunity to step away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life, step away from the doing and the hustling and the drive and the going to get, and just stand in, I don't want to do anything today. I want to be a woman. I want to be feminine. I want to love on myself. I want to yoni steam. I want to take me a fabulous bath. I want to do my nails. I want to do my feet. I want to cook me a good dinner. I want to drink me a hot glass of tea. I want to do my eyelashes. I want to do my nails. I want to do my hair. Whatever it is, just being able to be feminine. Just being able to love on ourselves, you know? And not only are we not getting the opportunity to do that, we're also not getting a chance to honor our cycle when that time of the month comes around. So now your cycle comes on, and not only are you not getting this opportunity to be feminine, now you gotta be at work at a certain time and you gotta perform a certain amount, and you're not able to just take a moment to just clear your head. Because I mean, when your cycle comes on, it's a whole lot of things that are happening inside of your body. It's a whole lot that's taking place hormonally, emotionally, mentally, physically. I mean, our bodies are being completely drained of everything. And so if we aren't allowed to regroup and to recharge, which is what this time of our cycle is supposed to be, it's supposed to be a time for us to fully get rid of all of the energetic, physical, emotional waste that we have pulled off of everybody else around us. As empaths and as women, you know, we have that ability to pull off of those people who are suffering around us, and still carrying all of your weight, nurture you, you know, love on you as my child, as my husband, as my companion, whoever you are. I still had that ability, even though I'm carrying all of that burden from you, I'm still able to push and to nurture you and to hustle and bustle every single day and do what I gotta do in order to make sure you're good. You know what I mean? And my family is good. So we have to make sure that we are taking this opportunity to tap back into the idea of it's okay for me to be. It's okay for me to not have to feel like I have to do something. And I'm here to tell you today, if nobody else tells you, sis, it's okay that you periodically have that lazy day. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay that you sink your time and your energy and your intuition into, how can I do less? How can I figure out ways to do less? Not that I have to be unproductive. I'm not saying don't be productive, but what I'm saying is being more in our feminine energy of being divinely guided and being okay with existing, and realizing that existing is in fact doing something, and that without you being here to exist and without you recharging on a consistent basis and tapping into your femininity whatever way you like to do that, then in fact everything and everybody else around you will fall to ruins. Your family will fall apart. Your mate, if you have one, will fall apart. Your community will fall apart. As women, we are those totem poles and those pillars of support, of guidance, and of structure in the community. So when you're out and about and when you're hustling and bustling, think about that the next time. Take that moment to woosah. Take that moment to breathe deeply when you're driving and you're on the road and you thinking about what you got to do next. Take that time to take 3 deep breaths, be still, and just be okay, and gather yourself with, I'm okay, I'm here, I'm present, I'm existing. That in fact is doing something. And next time you don't feel like doing something, don't beat yourself up. The other thing that we got to know is that when we don't honor our cycles, when we don't honor the divine feminine within us, when we don't give our bodies that chance to rest and to reboot as women, we are in fact creating the perfect scenario for us to get PCOS, for us to get endometriosis, for us to get uterine fibroids, for us to get uterine cysts, for us to get ovarian cancer, for us to get any kind of cancer of the womb, period. We are creating the perfect environment and imbalance of the energies within our womb and within our physical bodies that is combining together to create dis-ease in the body energetically, which then, if we don't pay attention to it, if we don't do things to heal it, if we don't try to ground ourselves and regain our balance, such as like with yoni steamers, with meditation, with talking, even just being able to talk, with other sisters around. If we don't do that, then we're in fact giving our bodies the opportunity to create a full-on disease and to create something that is now an illness that we have to fight 2-3 times harder to get rid of. So we have to remember as women that we just really need to be able to be and exist. Tap into the part of your brain that's telling you, if I'm not doing something, I'm not accomplishing. And if I'm not accomplishing, then I have no life purpose. You do, sis, and you being still is part of your divine purpose. It's part of your divine plan. And it's a way that we can begin to heal the dis-ease energetically that's going on in our bodies that, if we don't take care of, will become a disease. Imagine being a young woman and you have, from the time of puberty up until your 20s or whatever age you are now, been in a circle of supportive women, and you're going out on a first date, or you're going out with a guy that you really like and y'all are dating, and you walk into this space and maybe you get into something that you had no business getting into. And when you go to look in your phone, you see a whole list of women that you could call at the drop of a dime, that could come and that could aid you, or that could come and pick you up, or that could come and bail you out of jail. Because let's be real, some people go to jail. Imagine having that list, though, of other women other than your mom. And some women, unfortunately, don't have the ability to be with their biological mothers. So having that support system of a female and a list of females around you, being able to call any one of those people on that list, dial them up and say, hey, I'm in this trouble, can you come help me? The idea of the red tent is exactly that. It's the idea of being a support system, being a group of women that rally around and that encourage each other throughout every single phase of your life and your daughter's life, and helps you to learn how to be okay and reestablish this bond with women that are around you. One of the first things that came up with the women who were coming to the red tent when I first started it was, how do I know that what I'm telling y'all is going to stay within the sacred space? And it's a level of confidentiality that I think is so important, and that has been lost. As women, we've kind of begun to learn how to distrust another woman. It's very rarely that you see a genuine trust there. We've been made to feel, specifically from the men in our lives, we've been made to feel like, oh, I can't trust you as a woman because you might want my man. I can't trust you as a woman because you trying to do what I'm trying to do and I'm better than you. I can't trust you as a woman because you might try to steal my shade. Like, sis, it's enough abundance out here. It's enough men out here. It's enough resources out here that I don't have to come after anything that you have, that I don't have to come after your man, that I don't have to come after any of those things that we have caught up in our minds and that we've been taught to think in our minds. Somebody else is getting ready to try to take from us. So it's this level of being reintroduced to the concept of, I'm safe in this space, and I'm able to be in a space with other women where there's no competition and where I genuinely want for my sister what I want for myself. That in itself is profound. That in itself is something that's so unheard of these days. It's very rare that you get a whole group of women into a group and it's not any cattiness. I can't tell you how many sisters are amazed and astonished when they come to the red tent by the fact that it's like this no nonsense policy. Like, I'm not coming here and I'm not pouring all of my energy into this situation, into this experience of sisterhood for it to be a whole bunch of bickering and craziness that's going on between women. I'm really trying to help women advance their lives. I'm really trying to help women be okay with being open, with being honest, with being vulnerable, with being encouraged, with being divinely guided from the women around them, from the wisdom of the women around them, and from the universe and the divine power that is. I'm really trying to help women learn how to connect to that. So in the red tent, we have this policy of no crap. There's a no crap policy at the door, and it's something that works really well. We're going to come into this space. We're going to do what we came here to do. We're going to love on each other. We're going to nurture each other. We're going to help women and each other through these circumstances, and we're going to advance together. And I think it's important that as women, we regain the ability to be present in a space and not feel like I can't be vulnerable, not feel like I have to be guarded, not feel like I have to have shame, not feel like I have to not fully embrace all of that I have experienced as a woman and be able to freely talk about that. We need that space to be able to freely talk about what's on our minds, what we've been through, what we've triumphed over, and what we are embarking on doing and trying to achieve in our lives without a whole bunch of craziness surrounding it. So I just wanted to bring this to you about the red tent, what our purpose is, why we're doing what we're doing, why I'm here on YouTube, why I'm giving these videos to you guys, and to really put a call out there and tell you, join our community. Join our community, see where you could fit in, what you could offer to us, what you may be able to have as expertise that can come in and be offered. And if you don't have any, come and simply learn. Come and simply learn. Join with women who are positive, who are about advancing their lives, and who are trying to step into this next phase of greatness that the universe has to offer us. If you have not already, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. I am constantly bringing new videos to the channel. I will be uploading the new and full moon of every month. I am also constantly uploading Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, so you guys can come back to the channel at any time and be fed. I love you. Peace, collective.